Welcome to the Fiend Zone on this new night every Monday at 8 o'clock here on Horror Fiend TV. Now, before I continue, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, turn on your notifications so you can see what we have coming your way from Horror Fiend TV. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's episode of the Walking Dead podcast with Rick and Joe. So let's get into what they talked about last night. In last night's podcast, covering the final season of The Walking Dead, it's the penultimate episode, and things are starting to heat up as Lance and his soldiers visit Maggie at the hilltop. The intensity ramps up as Lance continues to be the highlight of the show. Plus, Mercer and Princess hook up for real. Just one more episode to go, and tune in this Sunday at 10 o'clock for the dynamic duel of Rick and Joe as they will discuss the final episode of this section of The Walking Dead. They've done it all season, and trust me, you want to hear their points for this season of The Walking Dead. That's it for The Walking Dead talk. Now let's roll to this week's Horror Spotlight. This week we were lucky as two major announcements were dropped, and both are very exciting for us horror fans. The first was announced that one of our favorite actors, Bill Skarsgard, would play Eric Draven in the reboot of The Crow. Bill is a tremendously talented actor, and I always look forward to see what role he will play next. The Crow debuted in 1994, and it starred the late Brandon Lee as Eric Draven, a musician who was murdered along with his fiancee. He is brought back to life a year after his death by a crow who guides him to avenge their deaths. Unfortunately, Brandon died during the making of the film. Bill Skarsgård steps into yet another role where he has big shoes to fill. The other shoes he filled was that of the iconic Tim Curry by taking the red balloon by the string to play the role of Pennywise in the reboot of Stephen King's It. Now, why am I talking about Pennywise? HBO Max dropped a horror bombshell by announcing a prequel to It that was in the works. The title of the prequel is aptly named Welcome to Derry. Now, there have been a few plots revealed, and one is the story may take place in the 1960s to explore the life of Derry before Pennywise came face to face with the Losers Club. The cast has yet to be revealed, but I do hope they bring back Skarsgård to play the role of Pennywise. Bill Skarsgård is a talented actor, as you've seen in his transformation of Pennywise the Clown. He also starred in a Netflix horror series called Hemlock Grove, as well as a series on Hulu from the mind of Stephen King called Castle Rock. We wish you the best in these roles, and hopefully you will be in Welcome to Derry. In our next episode of Three Corners of Horror, airing Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m., we will talk about a film that appeared previously in this show's Horror Spotlight. Fresh 2022, currently streaming on Hulu, stars Sebastian Stan and Daisy Edgar Jones. Noah, played by Daisy Edgar Jones, has the worst luck when it comes to dating until she meets Mr. Winter Soldier Steve, played by Sebastian Stan. As their relationship begins to grow, Noah soon finds out that Steve has exquisite taste. To help us review this film, we have a special guest joining us on this week's episode of Three Corners of Horror. Actress, writer, and director Sarah Lynn Mayer will join us to review Fresh. Sarah is an indie filmmaker who has a current project making the film festival rounds, and we wish her the best. Join us tomorrow on Three Corners of Horror when Sarah Lynn Mayer joins us in dicing and serving up this week's review of Hulu Originals Fresh. That's it for this week's episode of The Fiend Zone in our new time slot every Monday night at 8 o'clock here on Horror Fiend TV. Before I go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications because we have many things coming your way here on Horror Fiend TV. It's Monday. I wish you all have a great week. And Fiendsters, I wish you the best. This is JR. Love, horror, and I'll see you next Monday on Horror Fiend TV's The Fiend Zone.